One trend that we're seeing in quite a few blue states that we have talked about here on 10-Minute Drill is states abandoning their climate targets that they had set during a time in 2020, 2021, and 2022 of increased climate activism and fervor. This from the Wall Street Journal. Bay State Democrats in 2021 passed a law requiring their government to adopt policies and emissions limits to reduce its CO2 emissions to 50% below 1990 levels by 2030. Those were the days of peak climate. Banks and asset managers were pledging to go to net zero, and Democrats in Washington were advancing a multitude of policies to banish fossil fuels. So that peak climate there is really important. You'll remember when Joe Biden came into office, the number one priority was how can we get as much money as possible into this green transition. It was focused on solar and wind and developing the technology to try and force people to leave their oil and gas that they were so reliant on. But as we've talked about with New Jersey, Maryland, and others, Massachusetts had a similar problem. They did not have the ability to create the energy needed with those new resources they were trying to be forced into. Wall Street Journal continues. Energy reality has dawned even on Nantucket as the high cost of the state's climate policies has arrived. About 80% of Massachusetts' electricity is generated by natural gas, and about half of households also rely on gas for heating. Whoops! Again, as with so many other instances on the issue of fighting climate change, Democrats put the cart way before the horse, intentionally trying to force the cart to move along to the horse. But if you don't have power and people can't heat their homes, they get pretty mad. Massachusetts wholesale gas prices are 239% of the national average, and its residential electricity rates are 72% higher than in the rest of the country. Again, as with California and Gavin Newsom, where they're looking at $8.50 gas prices next year, or again, New Jersey, so many other states, you cannot try and force an energy transition that the people don't want and the system and infrastructure is not ready for.